Guys, Deluded Gooner YouTube's N'Golo Kante, I'm back again. Thank you very much for logging back into your YouTube account or typing my name in or however you're watching this, whether it's on your phone or on a PC, Mac, whatever you got. But let's crack on. A bit of an upsetting video now. It is downright upsetting now. Barry Bennell, and if I've said his name wrong, you guys know I hate getting people's names wrong, and forgive me for my foul language, but fuck him, man. I ain't got no time for people that rape women and rape people that are vulnerable, and I definitely ain't got time for people that commit child sexual offences like my man. For those who don't know, he's been sentenced to, I believe, 31 years or 30 plus years. Good. You normally see people that commit these sort of crimes get less than drug dealers. I'm not pitting the crimes together. I mean, but if drug dealers are getting 20 plus years and these lot are getting 6 months and put on a sex offenders list and coming back out and doing the same thing, something's seriously wrong in this country. I don't want to touch on stuff too deep, but when you look at some of the judges and some of the people behind it, you can kind of see why they're protecting certain things. But back away from all of that, back onto this prick. 31 stretch bird. He's been birded for 31 years for his heinous crimes. Former Crew coach, former Manchester City scout. So before we get into it, you can see we know footballers. Yes, you see them at 12 years of age and 20 years of age plus 30 years of age. But you also see kids as young as 6, 7 in academies now, 12, 16. So on top of them being good kids and stuff, they need to have a duty of care whether they're going to be footballers or not. And it's disgraceful that he's used himself in a privileged position in working in football and working with children to just live out his sick fantasy. He was actually sentenced, I believe, for his crimes on 12 individual people, and I actually have to give credit to his victims that come out several years later. Well, they're actually they've always been men, but men with families now, and I've had to conceal this and keep this a secret with them for years, and they've been brave to speak about it. I mean, no one would want to speak about any crimes, much less this. It makes you feel weak, it makes you feel vulnerable, but the reality is them victims there, I know it's hard and I know these words ain't going to mean nothing, but at the end of the day, you're stronger than you'll ever be. It takes strength to come out and not hide and say what happened. It takes strength to continue your life and things like that after this has happened. I mean, it could have gone either way, and it pains me to say it, but there must have been someone that committed suicide because of things like this that have happened to them. I'm not saying they're weak, and I sympathise with them over things that have drew them to the edge, but it takes tremendous strength from these individuals to not go down that route. Like I said, man, he's a prick. I hope he burns in hell. Like, he's abused the trust of parents that leave their kids when they go and get coached and things and things like that. And also he's capitalized. Of course, I wasn't around back in the days. I mean, he's committed these crimes from 1979 to I believe 1991. I weren't even a figment of the imagination there in this world yet. But you can see why now there has to be added safeguarding children, and why there's so many laws now, and why you have to keep renewing your CRB. It could still be a big way forward, and we could have added protection, but we've gone a long way. Personally, this is the sort of thing why I'm not gonna cut it. I mean, all parents are very protective, but black parents in particular are very protective because of incidences like this. It's ridiculous. We know men tend to suffer in silence with anything. You've seen several campaigns to get men to speak about depression, mental health, all of these things. Men don't like to speak about things in general because you sound like you're weak and all of these things. That's how we're all conditioned. Hell, myself, I was conditioned to think like that. Even to a degree, I'm still like that. But then I remember it takes great strength. But if we use that same example of man keeping stuff bottled in and dealing with it themselves and blaming themselves, these people that did nothing wrong, however old they are when he committed these crimes and they were abused, and when they're old enough to comprehend that they've been raped or whatever's happened to them, it's going to play upon them. It's at the end of the day, we all have decisions to make, and again, as harsh as it sounds, to a degree, that's not an excuse for going off the rails, but it can be a trigger. You can feel worthless and all of these things as a result of this, and then you start playing up in school, you start messing around GCSEs, you get into drugs and alcohol abuse in your teens, and then it's a mad spiraling effect, and you're robbed of a life. A lot of these people really have been robbed of a life or robbed of something, to be honest with you. Like I said, he was actually only convicted, at least to my knowledge, for this bird, which he's actually been described as a devil, quite rightly so by the judge. He's only committed, these were against 12 people, but he's alleged to have had over 100 victims in total. There's actually been an additional 86 people that have come forward since his case that he's been birded for, that I'm speaking about, has happened. I'm so sure this guy went jail in America. How he didn't get his face kicked in that prison, I don't know. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm so sure he went to America for this sort of stuff. I'm so sure he preyed upon in America. You know, they have soccer camps and camps out there and them things. Preyed upon kids over there. The guy's a bastard. They need to lock the key up. No, he don't even deserve a jail cell, and he doesn't deserve death. Don't get me wrong. He deserves to die. Death's too easy. He should be given a hammer and a big brick and tied and thingied up, shackled up, and just made to keep hitting that and breaking it into smaller and smaller pieces until his back gives way. And when his back gives way, make him do it again. He's obviously going to be on the nonce wing, on the wing where they've got the rapists and the kiddie fiddlers and people that do all these nonsense crimes and all this nonsense. And I hope he gets the I hope the prisoners deal with the justice in the right way. I mean, I'm not going to touch up on it, but if any one of them, if he slips on the wing, if you got hot water and sugar, mix that together, dash that in his face, you guys know what will happen. For those of you who don't know what will happen with that, type that in on Google. So yeah, like I said, for me, which gets me is that the people the people that might be seeing this case and that are seeing this happen and seeing him getting convicted but haven't come forward in general to voice their concerns, that haven't sought help to help themselves. It's them people that just probably watched that have been abused by my man, that saw it on TV and turned a blind eye. Like I said, a lot of these people have families. I very much doubt all of them told their partner or their kids or whatever about what's happened to them, and it's hard. I mean, I hope this don't happen to no one, but if it happened to me and I had a family, I would find it incredibly hard to come out, much less for myself or for my pre-existing family, but for my little son or daughter, to tell them that this happened to me, that their son, that their father, their superhero that they see, this happened to you. It's not bad that it's happened to, it is bad, but I mean, it's nothing to be ashamed of. In this, you shouldn't feel ashamed because you didn't do nothing wrong, if you get what I'm saying. This guy's a cunt, like, forgive my language, but Barry Bannon, I don't want to say I hope you burn in hell, because I think death is too easy for you. You should be smacked out as soon as you wake up every day. Bang, 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 bang. Till your head bleeds and your head busts. Bang, bang, bang again. Till you're unconscious. Keep banging him every day. Every day. Guys like this do not deserve to walk the face of the earth, man. I mean, I told Tony Blair, and it's not best to compare humans to animals, because we're not, but this man might as well be. He's less than a dog. He's nothing. He said, he actually tweeted, if a dog bites a child, you'd put the kid down. So my man, and he said, so why not do the same for my man? Obviously, we can't we can't take it for everyone. We can't compare humans to animals. But in cases like this, Tony Bellew, the boxer, has a great analogy and a great case. Why is my man still alive? He showed no remorse for his crimes as well. Dirty cunt, like, I've had enough, man. Guys, Deluded Gouda, YouTube's and Golo Kante. I didn't want to talk about this story, but I believe it should be spoke about. I know a lot of you have young children, have little brothers and older brothers that might still be of age. This can happen to anyone. You could be a big man, you could be the toughest you could be a 35-year-old man, and someone might do some booky stuff like this. Depends on how they can finger you. People need to speak out. Like, people need to speak out. People need to be protected. And for me, most importantly, if you have a child, don't trust no one, especially people in positions of power like a coach. You'd naturally think a coach, why would he do that, right? You'd think, why would a coach do that? He's skilled to work with children. He obviously works with children. Precisely. Don't trust no one, people. I'm not saying paint all coaches like this. Of course, there's a small minority of nonsense, but trust no one in general. Like, trust no one, man. I ain't got nothing else to say. Guys, Deluded Gouda, YouTube's and Golo Kante. I hope my man burns in hell for exploiting the trust of parents and the dreams of kids to be footballers and whatever they wanted to do. And not even that, away from football, this hurts people's social interactions, because some people might not trust a man ever again or a woman ever again. Guys, Deluded Gouda, YouTube's and Golo Kante. Get in the comments, subscribe, and do the rest. I'm out.